Welcome back. So we've covered the theory. Now let's get into how the Milestones Assessment is actually built. So the 3 developmental levels, 16 skills domain, how scoring works, 4 methods of measurement, and how to pin down a learner's operant level once you're actually in the room with them. So there are 4 things that we're gonna cover today. One is the 3 levels and 16 domains that make up the milestones, the scoring, the 0, 1.5, or 1 scoring system. There's a detail in here that trips up almost every new examiners. And the 4 methods or measurement codes you'll see stamped on every milestone, and how to find learners' operant level during testing, including when it's actually fine to stop. So the Milestones Assessment has 170 measure milestones split across 3 developmental levels. So here's the thing almost every new examiner gets wrong. Those levels describe skill strength and not a literal age requirement for the kids sitting in front of you. Okay? So for example, a 9-year-old can be validly assessed and score at level 1 if that's genuinely where their skills fall. Because the VB-MAPP measures operant level and not birthdays. Okay, so hold on to that idea because it matters for everything else in this section. Here is the developmental levels from the scoring grid. So if you can see here, there's level 1, the orange, level 2, the green one, and level 3, the blue one. So let me explain further the details. All right. So here, level 1 has roughly matches the learner and language skills you'd see between 0 to 18 months. And level 2 has 12 domains and covers roughly 18 to 30 months, and keeps most of the level 1 higher and adds 4 ones. And here, level 3 has 13 domains, roughly approximately 30 to 48 months. So 2 domains for the earlier levels like motor imitation and echoics get retired here in this level, because as they're no longer useful targets in this level. And 3 academics readiness domains step in, like reading, writing, and math. So add it up and you got 16 unique skills domains across all 3 levels. So next slide, I'm gonna break down exactly what our domains are and sit at which level. So here is the breakdown. So level 1 has 9 domains. There's man, TAC, listener responding, visual performance and matching to sample, independent play, social and social play, motor imitation, echoic, and spontaneous vocal behavior. While level 2 keeps all this 8 and adds 4, like from listener responding, intraverbal, classroom routines, and linguistic structure. Group and linguistic structure. And then level 3 keeps the 6 original and drops motor and echoic and adds reading, writing, and math. Notice the pattern of man, tact, listener responding, VP-MTS, independent play, and social behavior runs through all of these 3 domains. Because those 6, you'll be scoring at literally every administration. So no matter what level the learner lands on, those 6 always gonna be assessed. So looking back on the grid, so remember the approximated age per level. Level 1, 0 to 18 months. Level 2, 18 to 30 months. And level 3, you've got 30 to 48 months. And notice the domains or operants that you're gonna be tested. It's here. And those are specific skills from that domains. And also notice the 6 skills that we're always going to be tested from each level. Got social skills, from level 1, 2, and 3. Always consistent, because those are the core important skills that you're going to be looking at on your programs. So every single one of the 170 milestone gets 0, 1.5, or 1. That's it. So no broader scale, no partial credit beyond the half point option. So a score of 1 means the learner hits the criteria printed right in the protocol booklet. And a score of 1 means the response is emerging. And here's the detail that catches almost everyone off guard the first time, because the criteria of what actually counts as half point aren't in the protocol, but it's in the guide. So you need to keep both books open while you're scoring, at least until the half point calls start feeling automatic. And a score of 0 means the skill didn't show up under the conditions you have tested. So these are the books and what it looks like. Here's the protocol and the guide. Right, so each 170 milestones tells you which of 4 measurement methods to use. And this isn't optional, because using the wrong one is an administration error. So the first one is a formal testing coded T. It means you present a specific task and record what happens, like show an item and ask what's that, write down the answer. While observation, coded O, means you just watch for the scales to show up naturally with no time limit, and you notice a spontaneous stack during play, and that's your data. And either coded E means you can use whichever is faster for the particular learner. And the last one is the timed observation, coded TO, means the behavior has to happen within a set window to count. Say, like manding 5 times spontaneously inside a 60-minute stretch. Right, so the whole point of the milestones assessment is finding each learner's actual operant level. So what's really there in their repertoire right now, and not what you assume is there. So for example, below operant level. So if an item is obviously below their skill level and you're already, like for example, M5, M6, score M5 1 right away because he already has a score in M6 and move on. So don't burn session time testing something background info or a caregiver already confirmed. And as you get closer to their ceiling, slow down and test more carefully. That's where the data that actually matters lives. And if you miss 3 milestones in a row within a skill area, like for example, user responding, it's all empty, you tested it out, and it's fair to call that a ceiling and stop. And one exception worth remembering is a splinter skills. So for example, a learner might show a skill in reading, math, or whatever. That's completely out of the step with the rest of their profile, right? So give them credit for it anyway, even though it breaks the pattern. Cool, let's do a recap. So we learned about 170 milestones, 3 levels, 9, 12, and 13 domains. There are 16 unique domain total, and the labels are about skill strength and not age. And we also learned about every milestone scores 0, 1/2, or 1. Full point criteria live in protocol. Half point criteria live in the guide. So we also learned 4 measurement codes cover every milestone. We have the formal testing, observation, either timed observation. And when you're administering, move fast below ceiling. Slow down as you approach the real operant level, and stop after 3 misses in a row, except for splinter skill, which still count. And up next, actually preparing for the assessment. So pre-scoring, materials, rapport, testing techniques. So just a quick source note. So this section draws from Skinner's original 1957 text and Sundberg's VB-MAPP guide and protocol. So everything here is paraphrased for internal training, and if you need the exact authoritative milestone criteria, go straight to the guide and protocol themselves.